Hello, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Eurohammer with myself, Owen, and Marcel over there in Germany. Marcel has just returned from a week away, so please forgive him. I think the autobahns left him down a bit, and he was stuck in the traffic jams, but now we're here.
Yeah.
And Marcel and I were chatting last week, and we both realized we had a background in that darkest of all part of the war games role-playing hobby, and that was a LARP background. And although sometimes it's a swear word for some people, we both have great experiences, and we've had some lovely times in the LARP world. So bear with us, sit back, relax, don't turn over, and join us as we discuss our LARP backgrounds prior to our coming to the, well, or partly when we were with the wargaming hobby. I think that Marcel and I are both big fans of Eurohammer, as some of you know, and Warhammer 5th edition was lost on me, Marcel, a bit. I can remember 4th really well, and I can remember 6th really well, and I didn't do much in 5th. And that is because they were the LARP years, the years that I spent in live action role play, and maybe I did less wargaming. So the pictures are there. There's a brilliant picture of Marcel and R2D2. That's Marcel on the right. But yeah, that's good. But we obviously, you can chat about that, Marcel, and tell everyone about how you got into this wonderful hobby and what you did, really. And there's some brilliant photographs of you on this next slide, which I'll go to if my computer will let me. There it is. Okay, take it away, Marcel.
Yeah, sadly, I couldn't find the picture from my first lab experience, because there is actual a picture, and that was in the end of the 90s, I think 99, maybe 98, because I got a driving license because I had to drive, and that was a vampire LARP. Yeah, Vampire the Masquerade. And a lot of my gaming group back in the days was into that, and it was really nice. It was, I think, once a month, Saturday night, and it wasn't really for me, because it was all about intrigues and backstabbing and, oh man, too much talking and everything. And I'm not a very good actor, and I couldn't get into characters, so these vampire characters. And yeah, but I remember the rule system was really cool, because it was just like here, rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah.
So that was really easy. I want to fight you. Okay, zack, zack, zack. Ah, you lost. Oh, bad. I get a hit point, and so on. That was really cool, and the people were really nice. And I think I did that for, I would say, a year.
Okay.
And
what sort of character did you play?
Oh, what was it? It was, what was the clan name? Tremere. So more like the artists and everything, and yeah, it was it was nice. It was nice. And then I got into American Civil War reenactment, and I would call reenactment is also part like LARP. It's a historical LARP, if you could say that, because we got all a name, and our captain from the unit I joined wrote a little background about our characters and so on. That was really nice, and we were all calling us by our character names. And that was 2002, and I joined the 7th Georgia Cavalry,
right,
as an infantryman, because I am not good with horses. And sadly, I only joined one large reenactment battle. That's here on the picture. I'm the 3rd guy on the left with the black hat. That's me. And it was such a great experience, because I read so many books about the Civil War. And then I was in a life-size regiment. And it was just like, oh, the captain said left. Really? I couldn't hear anything. What's happening? Where's the flag? And then you realize why so weird stuff happened during actual battles. And that was, oh, it was really cool with the adrenaline and everything. And it was really, really, really cool. But it's quite an expensive hobby. I still got my rifle.
Wow.
Or my musket. And part of my uniform. But it's really like every hobby, time consuming if you want to do it right. Yeah, you have to drive a lot to get to the locations where they do it. Or this club I've joined, they went to the US regularly to join the Gettysburg reenactment.
Wow.
Yeah. So really hardcore stuff. But I quit after a couple of years because I couldn't attend. I was studying, and then money was short for all this stuff and so on. And then during university, I met some people, and then we went to a zombie LARP. So, and that was something completely different because I'm really into zombies.
Right.
And then I said, oh man, but being a character, so as a player character, you're spending a lot of money on these events. Or not a lot of money, but some money.
Yeah.
And you need equipment and everything. And then I said, oh, it's really cool, but how much about being a zombie? It was only a fraction of that.
Yeah.
And you got and so I joined with my friends, and the girl with the teddy bear is my wife.
Wow.
and as zombies, and that was really cool. It was on a former Soviet air base in Eastern Germany.
Right.
So with an airstrip and abandoned buildings and everything. A little bit dangerous because of broken glass somewhere, and the ends there were just horrible. But and the mosquitoes. And it was really, really cool to I will always remember I've got I was wearing a uniform in camouflage.
Yeah.
And it was at night, full moon. So you didn't need any flashlight. You could really see a lot during nighttime. And I was standing next to a tree, and then a group of survivors was running, and they didn't recognize me because I was just standing still there next to the tree in the camouflage. And the last guy, I just went, whoa, and he was jumping. And that was so cool, really cool. And it was with the other guys just partying and a lot of good stuff. But as often you get older, and after being 3 days in character all the time, you just need another week.
So I take it in these games, the viewers probably can't see, there's a lovely photo of yourself dressed as a soldier there with the zombie makeup, and your wife Yagoda there. Are you the monsters then, and the player characters play other characters, I take it, yeah? And you are working for the game, really, I take it there.
Yeah. We've got in every large, I would say, zombie group, there was also a crew member wearing a vest, with Orga, or Game Master. So they were recognized, and if their word was the law, because always something could happen, and if they said cut, we need a break, then everybody had to stop, because safety first, of course. And sadly, every event something happened. So okay. And then they've got walkie-talkies, and then we need 10 zombies at that building, and they were coordinating us, because otherwise we were running around for hours meeting no one. So obvious. And they were working on the plot and everything, and it was quite an experience. And I did that for I would say it was once a year, this event. I would say I attended maybe 5 or 6 events.
So
And on the picture at the bottom, with my lovely face torn apart,
Yeah.
that was another zombie event from a different group,
Right.
and they are specialized in really, really small events. So you got only, let's say, 20 player characters.
Okay.
But some locations were just fantastic. We've got one event that was in a former hospital with a
Right.
chapel.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So really, really, really creepy,
Mm.
with underground tunnels connecting the buildings and
Yeah.
everything. And sometimes were really comical, like, oh, it's a music festival, and then the zombies are coming, but the weak spot of the zombies was some kind of music, so like Mars Attacks.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So that was really funny, but the players have to work it out.
Yeah.
So
Oh, that's good.
and
Yeah. And
and they got these makeup guys from the theater. They
mm,
did it professional, and they put a lot of work into that, making the makeup and everything. So
the makeup at the bottom looks superb. And
yeah,
the ones again with you as the soldier, and you go to there with the teddy bear, and I can see a guy behind her there with his eye on his cheek. I mean, that's horrible, isn't it? You know, that's it. Yeah. But
yeah, yeah.
you must have spent a lot of time in makeup for this as well, did you?
Or I think as a soldier, it was just like with an airbrush,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
so quite fast. But funny enough, we didn't get rid of the makeup during sleeping time.
All right.
So
Yeah.
our sleeping bags looked like there were a clown dying in there because it was full of makeup after the event.
Yeah.
And this was during summertime. So sometimes there was over 30 degrees.
Mm.
So quite an investment. I remember dying as a zombie on these concrete streets, and the players that killed me were just standing next to me and then making plans. And I just said to them, sorry, can you move away around the corner? It's
Yeah.
so hot. And they sure, walk
Yeah.
around the corner, and then I could
Yeah.
walk away,
Yeah.
being another zombie.
Oh, that looks great. And
Yeah.
this picture with the stormtroopers, then what's this about here?
I joined the 501st 7 years ago.
Wow.
Because there was the Star Wars Celebration convention here in Germany.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just blown away by all these costumes and everything. And then that was the first time I heard about the 501st. And then I found out that one of the guys was living in the next street.
Oh, okay.
And luckily, he got really good connections to one of the guys making these stormtrooper uniforms.
Yeah.
In the UK.
Wow.
And he said, if you want to have one armor suit, I got the connection, you will get a discount, and I will help building it, because you have to trim down the plastic arms and legs so that they fit you. Yeah, and then I looked at my bank account. I said, okay, I've got the money. Yeah, silly idea, but I bought it. And then at the beginning, I attended every event in my surrounding area. But now I would say less and less, because it also takes a lot of time. And yeah, but I've got a lot of friends there, or not a lot, but some really good friends, I would say. So it's more about meeting and having fun. And this event here, that was just a photo shooting, like on Endor.
Yeah.
And the guy, the photographer, is now making the pictures ready, so they will be ready, I think, in a couple of days. And it was really, I mean, it's also kind of LARP to being in this costume and running around being the obviously bad guy. And we also got names, so every stormtrooper got a number, TK, and then followed by a number, so you're recognizable kind of. And yeah, that's also funny. And I mean, it looks just great to have a stormtrooper in your living room. So
yeah, it does. I bet though after lockdown there were a few stormtroopers finding it difficult to get back in the armor, I think, with it.
Oh, of course, yeah. I don't have to breathe. And funny enough, I mean, you can't go to the toilet with that.
Wow.
Yeah, you just have to get rid of it.
Yeah.
But after, let's say, half a minute, you're completely wet because of your sweat.
Yeah.
The helmets are not sunproofed. I've got sunburn through my helmet once. And my record in armor was 8 hours without a break.
Oh, right. Okay. Wow.
But that was my first event, and I just want to go full.
So I bet those pads they wear on Tatooine that come out the side there, they must stop the sun burning their head or something. Is it? That's it.
Yeah. I mean, some of them got for fresh air in their helmets.
Air conditioning. Oh,
yeah.
But
then the helmet got heavier, and you always have this sound in your helmet. So my helmet is completely original with screws. You will scratch your head every time you are putting the helmet wrong on, but it's cool. And it's just great if you got children there and they are just looking at you. And I've remembered that was one event in a library, because it was Star Wars Reads Day.
Mm-hmm.
So they making little games with the kids and everything. And we were just there standing guard and later on presenting the prize and everything. And there was a little girl, I would say 6 or 7, dressed as Princess Leia. She was standing, and I was with another stormtrooper, and she was standing there looking up. My dad says you're the bad guys, but I think you're really cool. And that's just, oh, how cute.
Yeah, but that's great. I mean, there's a lot of different things you've done there, and I think looking back on it, you've had some really good times. I mean, am I right in thinking you met your wife through LARP then, is it? Or...
No, I met my wife through university, but she was crazy enough to join me. So.
That's all right. Yeah. And I mean, the Civil War battle looks fantastic.
Yeah.
The makeup and the on the zombies and the stormtroopers. I mean, it looks great, doesn't it? And that's just a brilliant Endor setting as well. So there's something about that, isn't it? Just having the weekend away and camping and just being with other people, which is just a lot of fun. And I think that's what I got out of live role playing really a lot. And I'll talk about that in a minute. So, but yeah, I mean, you've had some really good times by the look of it. And I think I'd really like to play in one of those zombie ones. They look great, actually. I've not done that. And although it's a bit scary.
And I mean, here in Germany at I would say mid-90s, it was starting. You've got vampire because it was fairly easy to get your costume, wearing sunglasses and a leather coat, and you're ready to go. Yeah. And then, of course, we've got, I would say, a really large community for fantasy LARP. Yeah, also with huge battles and villages or camps fighting against each other over the year with a really great story. But that wasn't really my stuff, because it's really the fighting with the swords. Yeah, it's really face to face. Yeah. And sadly, like in every hobby, you have some really stupid people. Yeah. And then it can get really ugly. Yes. Because of the adrenaline and
of course,
accidents could happen, of course. And then so for fantasy, I stay with the dice rolling.
Yeah, I think so. But anyway, I'm going to just talk to you about my own experiences, really, sort of quickly. But it was a big part of my life for quite a long time. And I can remember the day when I first sort of discovered live role playing. And that a lot of people in the UK, if you're actually watching this, will remember, and it's still going on now, but there was a program called Blue Peter. And Blue Peter is a famous children's program here in the UK. And I had just got into role playing and war games and through the D&D red box, and I was playing that. And then one day I came home from school and Blue Peter did an article on live role playing at a place called Treasure Trap. And Treasure Trap were a live role playing company that had access to a castle in England somewhere. And they run live role playing events there. And it looked something like the bottom there with the kids in the but I thought this was the best thing I had ever seen, and I thought this was going to be absolutely amazing. But because I was a kid, I couldn't really go to where it was. But then a couple of years later, a company called Labyrinth were formed, and they were based in Chislehurst Caves, which is in the southeast of England and a long way from where I live. But Chislehurst Caves in the Second World War were used as a storage thing for ammunition, I believe. And there are miles and miles of caves, all with different scenes and different storage areas. And I can remember when it was Games Day 1987 that I went to the Chelsea Horticultural Arena to the Games Day event there. And then I went on the next day with my friend. We took the London Underground to Chislehurst Caves and we played in Labyrinth. And that photograph, I haven't got any photos of that time because it was pre-camera phone, it was pre-internet, and I didn't own a camera as a kid. And I went to the caves and I can remember going through this little door that was literally in the side of a mountain and walking through this cavern down into the depths of the earth. And there was this little made-up fantasy tavern and people dressed in sort of costumes doing live role-playing. And I played a half-orc called Pussbag. And my costume was a coat with a hood tight around my face. And then they sold these pig noses that you wore. And I wore that pig nose. And the weapons were, as you can see on the bottom there, the guy on the right, literally grey tape around a pole with some foam. And every few minutes, I'd have to tip the nose because I was underground, or condensation would form in the nose and it would fill with water. And at the end of the day, my nose was all red because of the condensation. And I was full of bruises. But I remember just having the best time. It was just amazing to be involved in that. And over a couple of years with a group of friends and my wife, we went to Labyrinth on a number of occasions and had a great time. And it's still going to this day, according to the internet. It's very basic, but brilliantly a lot of fun. And then in 1993, I don't know how I came across it, but I found a company called the Lorien Trust who run what they call the Gathering every year. And it's a weekend away, and a lot of LARPers from all over the UK gather in the Gathering. And it all leads up to, there are different factions, but it all leads up to a big battle on the Sunday, which is the most dangerous thing you'll ever be involved in. Like you're thinking, there's thousands of people hitting each other with swords, and that sort of. But I went there and was blown away by just the thousands of people who were involved and the atmosphere and the battle. And there was a guy there called Lord Giva, I can remember this, who built a tower for the weekend. And everyone was attacking the tower constantly over the weekend. And I was just amazed by this. I was just totally sort of gobsmacked about this hobby. And from there, again, I don't really know how it happened. I can't remember how it happened, but I got involved in a really, really good group of live role players called the Dumnonny Chronicles in Devon, in a place called Oakhampton. And from about 94 to 2000, throughout the summer and sometimes in the winter, me and a group of friends used to travel down to Oakhampton to play in the Dumnonny Chronicles. And that's when I got interested in storytelling. The Dumnonny Chronicles are all about Celtic mythology. And being from Wales, I had a lot of experience about that. And we started going as players in about 94. The level of costume was very high. They have their own little Celtic roundhouse where you sit around the fireplace. The storytelling and the plots and the people involved were really, really into it in a big way. And a lot of people I grew to know and became very, very friendly with. And it's quite sad because, again, I've got next to no photographs, although I played many different characters. And towards the end, I got sort of involved with the organization with a friend of mine called Andy Leach, who I haven't seen for many years. And they used to video the events. And as you can see there, I found 2 videos, which I still have. And that's me there on the right playing Rhyme, who was the villain in the Dumnonny Chronicles for a while. What I like about these videos is they have actually given them age ratings. Look, right? So probably that one on the left there has got a 15 rating. Yeah. Somebody swore in that one, obviously, but and I really enjoyed that. And then I was really lucky in the late 90s to get some of the people from Dumnonny, who I got to know really well, formed their own company called Shining Kingdoms, live role playing. And in the Lake District in the north of England, there was a youth centre that they used to do up as a pub, as an inn. And it would be 24 hours live role playing, fully immersive in the Conan background. And before you attended, you would have to write the background for your character. And then you would have to, they would write a plot that happened just for your character on that weekend. And the work they put into it was absolutely phenomenal. Some of the people involved there, the lady in green, Sam, and Steve, her husband, who's standing next to her. The guy that's me on the right there. I played a character called the Wraith, who was like a sort of a Zorro type character who had a secret identity. When he put the mask on, nobody knew who he was. And I wrote a background about him escaping from, a prison. And Andy, the guy standing next to me there as well, was a tremendous artist. And he did all the costume for me and made the jacket and the mask. And that's my good friend Nick on the floor there as the Arabian sort of thief. And that was just an amazing experience that brought live role playing with that, and the Dumnonny Chronicles brought that entirely to a new level for me, really. But in about the year 2000, 2001, my son was born. I got married in 99, and then I went into my current job and I became a shift worker, and all of a sudden I just stopped going. And the Dumnonny Chronicles used to do these sieges where there was a fort and it would be attacked, and one of the characters I played became quite high level. He became quite renowned, and all the monsters would know him by name and this type of thing, and because he was a hero. And I've got some amazing memories and experiences. And even now, I sometimes get in touch through social media with some of the people, and some of my friends are still playing on a regular basis. And I wish I could go to it, but I just don't know if it would be the same for me. It was a wonderful part of the hobby, and it was a wonderful part of my experience. And I think as a storyteller, for those who watch my other channel, Time Between Times Storytelling, and all my storytelling sort of came from this period, and I learned so much from it. And I've got really fond memories, really. And yeah, I leave it at there. It was just amazing, really. And as you can see, it brings me back to, I'm getting quite emotional talking about it, really. Times I used to have. But yeah, it was fantastic. It was really good. And if anyone makes fun of LARP, and I did a bit at the start of the video, I'll always say that, I've met some really good friends. A lot of those people were at my wedding, and I had some really, really good experiences through doing it. So like yourself, really. It means quite a lot to me looking back. And yeah, it was great. It was good. I enjoyed it. And that's it.
And I mean, it's also from the time and the effort and sometimes the money. It's quite the effort for someone. So quite a commitment. So I'm not just doing like pen and paper role playing or Warhammer. I mean, I once met a group on a games event. They were a Skaven LARP group in complete fur costumes.
Right. Yeah.
And I was just blown away. I mean, how many degrees is that wearing?
I know.
And they just said, doesn't matter. It's worth the fun. And so, I mean, maybe it's not for everyone because you have to do some acting, to be in character.
Yeah.
But I would say there's a place for everyone. I mean, I'm not a good actor, but what's acting a zombie? I just have to around, so everyone could do that. And if it's to your liking and the atmosphere, you can. And a lot of people I met were not into the other stuff of the hobby, like Warhammer or role playing. They were just normal office workers who were just getting away from their normal life and then diving really into this hobby, into their character to forget all their daily life stuff. And I mean, why not? Yeah, you are doing no harm. You're just running around in your free time in a silly costume, banging on the head with a foam sword. So who cares? It's just another experience you can enjoy, and you can really be creative with your background story or with your costumes and everything. So why not? Yeah.
Why not? It was great. Well, that's it. What a brilliant chat that was, Marcel. I loved your experiences there, and hopefully I can bring a bit of mine there as well. And I hope the guys watching, will. It's a bit of a sort of heartfelt episode, really, but who knows? It might inspire them to get involved in a bit of LARP, and maybe we will one day together. Perhaps we'll do something as well, but that would be great. No? So hey, I'll wrap it up before Zoom kicks us out. So that's great. It's great to meet you, and great to speak to you again, Marcel. And we'll come back with another subject in a couple of weeks and have a lovely chat about that as well. But in the meantime, guys, everybody take care, and we'll see you all soon. And keep gaming, guys. Keep